I, 38 male, sat there watching Natalie, 36, laugh with her sister on her couch. The wine had loosened her tongue more than usual. 12 years of marriage, 2 kids, and apparently I was the punchline to some inside joke. So wait, her sister Bianca was saying, you're telling me he still thinks you're at book club every Thursday? Seriously? Natalie snorted, almost spilling her wine. You think you matter? Girl, I've been cheating for years. Book club ended in 2019. My hand stayed steady on my coffee mug. 3 years. Thursday nights. All those great discussions about contemporary fiction. Aren't you worried he'll find out? Bianca asked, glancing toward the kitchen where I was supposedly out of earshot. Please. He's too focused on his spreadsheets and fantasy football to notice anything. I could bring Dimitri here, and he'd probably offer him a beer. I took a sip of coffee, set it down quietly. I know. Both women froze. Natalie's face drained of color as she turned to see me in the doorway. How long? Long enough. I pulled out my phone. Your lawyer's getting a package tomorrow. Might want to give him a heads up. Update 1. Sorry for the delay. Been busy with logistics. A lot of you asking how I knew before that night. Here's the thing. I'm not some super spy or genius. I'm just a guy who does his own laundry. Started about 8 months ago. Natalie came home from book club and tossed her clothes in the hamper. I went to do laundry that weekend and noticed her blouse smelled like men's cologne. Not mine. I'm allergic to most fragrances, so I use unscented everything. First time, I figured maybe she hugged someone goodbye. Made sense. But it kept happening. Different colognes sometimes. Then I found a receipt in her jeans pocket. Hotel bar, 2 drinks. Thursday night when she was supposedly discussing where the crawdads sing. That's when I started paying attention. Not obsessively. I had work, kids' soccer practice, normal life stuff. But I started noting things. Thursdays, she'd come home, freshly showered. Her car mileage didn't match the distance to her friend Janet's house where book club supposedly met. Little things. The kicker was when my buddy Raj mentioned seeing her at a restaurant downtown. Hey, saw Natalie at Bistro Luna last Thursday. Wanted to say hi, but she looked busy with her work dinner. She'd told me she was at book club, discussing the silent patient. So I did what any reasonable person would do. I hired a PI. Yeah, I know. Sounds dramatic. But I needed actual proof, not just suspicions and cologne. Cost me $3,000 total over 2 months. Worth every penny. The PI, let's call him Mike, was a retired cop. Very professional. No drama, just facts. Followed her for 6 Thursdays, documented everything. Photos, times, locations. The guy she was meeting? Dmitry Volkov, 42, divorced, owns a chain of luxury car dealerships. The hotel receipts came from their rewards program. Turns out Natalie was using her real email, but had the statements go into a separate folder. Mike explained how to legally access our shared computer's email archives. She'd been sloppy, booking rooms on our joint credit card a few times before switching to cash. The texts were from a tablet she'd synced to our family cloud account 3 years ago and forgot about. Everything backing up automatically, including some very explicit messages about what happened during book club. The video, hotel lobby security footage. Mike had a contact who pulled exterior footage of them entering together. Nothing illegal about filming in public spaces. So when Natalie was laughing about her years of deception, I wasn't shocked. I was just tired and ready to end it. Monday morning, her lawyer Thomas Brennan got everything via certified mail. Divorce petition plus a flash drive with 247 photos, dates, timestamps, locations. Credit card records showing hotel charges. Her email confirmations for room bookings. 89 screenshots of texts. 12 video clips from various hotel lobbies. PI's formal report with timeline. I also sent copies to my lawyer, Eleanor Kastner. She specializes in high-asset divorces with infidelity clauses. Oh, did I mention? We have a prenup with an infidelity clause. Natalie insisted on it back when we got married because her dad had cheated on her mom. Ironic, right? Brennan called Eleanor Tuesday afternoon. Short conversation. He's withdrawing from the case. Update 2. The entitlement has reached astronomical levels. Like, I knew Natalie had her moments, but this is next level. After Brennan dropped her, She went through 3 lawyers in 4 days. Each one reviewed the evidence, had some variation of yikes, and suddenly had conflicts of interest or full caseloads. By Friday, she'd hired her cousin Gino, who'd just passed the bar 6 months ago. Kids mainly doing traffic tickets and small claims. He sent over a demand letter that was something. Demands included full custody of both kids, the house, inherited from my grandmother, alimony of $8,000 per month, child support of $5,000 per month, her car that I paid off last year, half my 401k, compensation for emotional distress, $100,000, legal fees. Eleanor actually laughed when she read it. Does she think infidelity clauses are suggestions? Here's what the prenup actually says. Proven infidelity forfeits claims to inherited assets, eliminates alimony, and splits shared assets 70/30ths in favor of the faithful spouse. We'd updated it 5 years ago when I got a promotion. Natalie had insisted on adding a mutual clause about maintaining trust and fidelity. Her idea. But the real kicker came Saturday morning. I was making breakfast for the kids when the doorbell rang. Process server. Not for me. Turns out Natalie was suing Dimitri for intentional infliction of emotional distress and breach of promise. Apparently, when she told him about the divorce and the evidence, he ghosted her, blocked her number, banned her from his dealerships, told his security to escort her out if she showed up. She found out he's engaged to someone else. Has been for a year. She came by the house that afternoon. Kids were at my mom's for the weekend. I only answered because she wouldn't stop ringing the doorbell. You destroyed my life. She was crying, but that angry kind of crying. Thomas won't return my calls. Dimitri won't talk to me. My dad knows everything because you sent him copies. I didn't send your dad anything. Then how does he know? Maybe because you hired your cousin who immediately told your aunt, who told everyone at Sunday dinner? She pushed past me into the house. We need to talk. Like adults. Without lawyers. That ship sailed when you laughed about cheating for years. Oh my God, it was just sex. You're acting like I murdered someone. No, you just murdered our marriage. Repeatedly. Every Thursday for 3 years. You know what? Fine. Fine. You want to play hardball? She pulled out her phone. I'll tell everyone what you did. How you stalked me, invaded my privacy, hired some creep to follow me around. You'll look like a psycho. Okay. That's all you have to say. What do you want me to say, Nat? You cheated for 3 years. I found out. I filed for divorce. That's literally what happens. You're supposed to fight for us. For our family. I did. Every Thursday, when I put the kids to bed alone and told them mommy was at book club. Every Friday, when I pretended not to smell another man's cologne. Every weekend, when I acted like we were fine so the kids wouldn't notice. That's when she lost it. Started throwing things. Nothing valuable, just couch pillows, magazines. Then she grabbed my work laptop. Put it down, Natalie. Or what? You'll hire another PI? Bub my car? Back my phone? No. I'll call the police and report destruction of property worth $3,000. She threw it anyway. Right at the TV. Laptop survived. TV didn't. I called 911. Told them my soon-to-be ex was destroying property and refusing to leave. They arrived in 10 minutes. Natalie tried to play the hysterical wife card, but the laptop-shaped hole in my TV told a different story. They didn't arrest her, but they made her leave and filed a report. Eleanor was thrilled. More evidence for the divorce proceedings. Update 3. Gino fired her. Or quit. Depends who you ask. Either way, Natalie's now representing herself. This should go well. Tuesday was our first hearing. Just procedural stuff, temporary orders for custody, support, who pays what bills. Standard divorce things. Judge Hoffman, been on the bench for 20 years. Very no-nonsense. Natalie showed up in what I can only describe as wronged woman cosplay. Black dress, pearls, hair in a conservative bun. Looked like she was auditioning for a Lifetime movie. Eleanor presented our case simply. Marriage broke down due to documented infidelity. Prenup clearly outlines asset division, requesting 50-50 custody as both parents are capable. Temporary support per state guidelines only. Then Natalie stood up. Your Honor, I've been psychologically abused for years. My husband hired people to stalk me. He's invaded my privacy, hacked my accounts, and is now trying to steal my children and leave me destitute. Judge Hoffman flipped through the evidence folder. Ma'am, these appear to be photos of you entering hotels with a man who isn't your husband, on dates you claim to be at book club. Those were obtained illegally. Hotel lobby footage is public domain. Next issue, he hacked my emails from a shared family computer that you both had passwords to. He's turning my children against me. What evidence do you have of parental alienation? Well, they keep asking why mommy missed their school plays for book club. The judge actually rubbed his temples. Ma'am, do you have any actual legal arguments? That's when Natalie played what she thought was her ace. I'm pregnant. The entire courtroom went quiet. Eleanor looked at me. I shrugged, news to me. And Judge Hoffman asked, and clearly this divorce is causing stress that could harm my baby. We should delay proceedings until after I give birth, for the child's safety. When did you find out you were pregnant? 2 weeks ago. After divorce papers were filed? Yes, but... And who's the father? Dead silence. Ma'am, who is the father? I don't see how that's relevant. Eleanor stood up. Your Honor, given the documented infidelity and the timing, paternity is extremely relevant to these proceedings. Judge Hoffman nodded. Ma'am, you'll need to provide proof of pregnancy and submit to court-ordered paternity testing if you wish this to affect proceedings. This is harassment. You're all conspiring against me. Ma'am, you brought up the pregnancy. The court is simply following standard procedure. Natalie grabbed her purse. I need a recess. I feel faint. The baby. Motion denied. Sit down or be held in contempt. She sat. The hearing continued for another hour. Temporary orders granted. 50-50 custody. Child support per state calculator, $1,200 per month for me. Each party pays own legal fees. Natalie has 30 days to vacate the inherited property. Restraining order against destroying property or harassing either party. As we left, Natalie cornered me in the parking lot. You happy now? You've ruined everything. Natalie, you need to stop. I'm pregnant with his baby, and he won't even return my calls because of what you did. What I did? I filed for divorce. You chose to blow up your affair and apparently get pregnant by a man who was engaged to someone else. You don't understand. I loved him. We were going to be together. He told you he was engaged? No. He said he was single. Said he wanted to marry me someday. While you were married to me. That's different. How? Because I was going to leave you eventually anyway. There it was. The truth. I'd suspected it, but hearing it still stung. Then I did us both a favor by filing first. With that stupid prenup, my dad says it won't hold up. Prenups get thrown out all the time. Your dad's a dentist, not a lawyer. He knows things. I got in my car. As I drove away, I saw her in my rear view, standing in the parking lot, screaming at her phone, probably leaving Dimitri another voicemail. That night, the kids asked why Mom wasn't home for dinner. I told them she had some things to figure out. My son, 10, looked at me and said, "Is it because of her book club boyfriend?" Kids know more than we think. Final update. The divorce was finalized last week. Thought I'd give you all the ending you've been waiting for. First, the pregnancy. Yeah, that was a lie. Natalie admitted it during depositions when Eleanor demanded medical proof. She thought claiming pregnancy would delay things and make me come to my senses. Instead, it just pissed off Judge Hoffman. The prenup held. Fully enforced. Natalie's dad tried to help by hiring a shark lawyer from downtown. Guy took one look at the evidence, the prenup, and her pregnancy lie, then advised her to take the original offer. She refused. Final judgment. 50-50 custody. Kids stay at their current school. House remains mine. Inherited property protected by prenup. Assets split 70/30ths per infidelity clause. No alimony. Standard child support. $1,200 per month. Natalie responsible for her own legal fees, $47,000 and counting. She got her car, her personal belongings, and about $85,000 from the asset split. Should have been enough to start over. Keyword, should have. See, Dimitri's fiancée didn't just dump him when she found out about the affair. She sued Natalie for alienation of affection. Turns out we live in one of the few states where that's still a thing. His fiancée had texts where Natalie acknowledged knowing about the engagement and pursuing him anyway. That lawsuit settled out of court for $60,000. There went most of Natalie's divorce settlement. Then the car dealership dynasty imploded. Dimitri's business partner, his ex-fiancée's father, pulled out. Loans got called in. Last I heard, he's down to one dealership and fighting off bankruptcy. Natalie tried to reconnect with him during his troubles. He filed a restraining order. She moved back in with her parents. Posted on social media about rising from the ashes and new beginnings. Started a blog about surviving narcissistic abuse. 3 posts before she gave up. Last month, I ran into her at Target. She was with some new guy, loudly telling him how her abusive ex had destroyed her life with lies. The guy looked uncomfortable. She saw me, grab his arm, and said loudly, "See? He's still stalking me." I was buying toilet paper with my kids. My daughter waved and said, "Hi, Mom. Dad, can we get ice cream?" "Sure, sweetheart." Natalie's face crumbled. The new guy excused himself to check something in the car. Never came back. She texted me later, "I hope you're happy. You've poisoned my children against me." I didn't respond. The kids had asked to stay with me in extra night that week because Mom's apartment smells weird and her new friend is creepy. Found out through mutual friends that she's been cycling through guys from dating apps, telling each one a different version of our divorce. She's been caught in enough lies that word's gotten around. Small town. People talk. Meanwhile, I'm doing okay. Therapy helped. Kids are adjusting. We do Taco Tuesdays and homework and normal life stuff. It's quiet on Thursday nights now. Peaceful. Got a text from Brennan, her first lawyer, last week. Just said, "Glad I dropped that case. Heard about the hearings." Yikes. Even lawyers have limits, apparently. For those asking if I regret anything. Yeah, I regret not seeing the signs sooner. Regret that my kids have to shuttle between houses. Regret wasting years on someone who could laugh about betraying me. But I don't regret how I handled it. Clean, legal, documented. No games, no revenge plots, just consequences for actions. Natalie wanted to have her cake and eat it too. Turns out the cake was a lie, the other man was a player, and the prenup she insisted on was bulletproof. Funny how that works out. The kids and I are planning a camping trip next month. Real one, not a book club excuse. My son asked if Mom would come. I said she could if she wanted. He thought about it and said, "Nah, she doesn't like camping anyway." Smart kid. Thanks for following along, Reddit. Remember, if your spouse suddenly develops a passionate interest in book clubs, maybe check what they're actually reading. And always get a prenup.